Well, you said there's some lighter moments, the mercy, and there's some, well, darker moments, the
Yeah.
flood. Um, did those songs came as two separate identities, or was it?
Well, I mean, the way that I write, you know, and I don't really conceptualize where I'm going with an album. It's really just where I'm at as a person and what's, you know, what kind of music I'm working on that day. You know, allowing the lyrics and the feelings and the melodies to just emerge into a space of not really thinking about it that much. And so, I was actually surprised that there was such a cohesion in the record, because it does go to a lot of different places emotionally. I think a lot of the cohesion of it really is from my producer, Jamie Candeloro. He really took my game, production-wise, to a whole other level. I mean, just so experimental and really focused on doing something unique with every song, but yet keeping it, somehow, it all feels right and cohesive. So I have to say hats off to Jamie, because he took these songs and just made them, you know, produce them in a way that they work together as an album.
What was the first song?
First song we did on this album, tracking, I think one of the first was a song called Seven. That was one of the first batch after I wrote the EP and put that out last year. I started to just write all these songs. Initially I thought that the EP was going to stand by itself, and then I would just add 5 songs to it. Oh, okay, I only have 5 more songs, great, then it's an album. But I wrote so many new songs, I just said, let's make it a whole other release, you know, a whole other record. I think Seven was one of the first ones that we did.
Well, there's a line. I don't know if you want to talk about the lyrics. Do you want to talk about the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Seven. Well, it's of course it's some biblical reference. Is it true or not?
I don't know. Not particularly. Just, you know, the lyric started to kind of flow from that number, and I just went with it. I didn't really tie it to.
Okay. What is the song about? Because there's a line, "How could you leave me this way?" Is it about
well,
breaking up?
You know, I think a lot of it's just, you know, looking. There's a couple songs on this where you're just sort of staring into, you know, the abyss of whatever it is you're dealing with in life or whatever, and there's this sense of, you know, loneliness, a sense of despair. I think we all go through it, you know, from time to time, and I think that life is really about, you know, staring at that and then having, you know, the rebirths, that continual sense of, you know, having this sort of blank slate, maybe it's creatively or whatever, and being able to deal with that and to look at it and then be inspired, I think is really life's greatest challenge, you know, is to find hope, to find, you know, in a darker moment or moments, is that you find something that moves you through it and enlightens you. You know, you come out the other side, as they say. And so this record, you know, there's definitely, you know, I mean, to me, the bridge in Seven's probably my finest moment, both vocally, expression, as far as how I'm expressing it, and musically, of my career. And we just made a great video for it, so it should be a single.
Well, you named loneliness. How did this? Well, how did you end up feeling this way? Was it something that happened, or?
No, you know, you go through periods, I think, in your journey as a soul, you know, where you know, there's just things that, you know, just moments where you're not sure about things, you're not, you know, you're trying to find your way, trying to open up a new chapter in your life or whatever, and, you know, it's really the soul's journey. I think this, it's part of moving deeper into the deeper truths of life, is to let go of the past too, let go of your old concepts, you know, let go of, you know, things that are, you know, limitations, and just moving through them. I mean, just to keep it general. I mean, because a lot of it too is, you know, so much of this my lyrics throughout my career are sort of more, I like to keep them more cerebral, more universal, so that people can, you know, I don't want to tie them too much to my specific story. That way, you know, they stand the test of time. I mean, to me, I feel like Seven is something that people will be able to listen to and apply it to something they're going through. And, you know, part of my sort of mission when I talk about the songs is to not say, oh, it's about this for me.
I know,
Because,
I know.
yeah.
But for me, well, I have to ask: does it also have something to do with you leaving life and now finally
no.
finding your own
No, not at all.
your own roots, your own
No,
solo?
that would be a much too literal interpretation of it. This is more a spiritual seeking, spiritual soul journey. You know, where are you? It's my faith to find it. This, you know, you're moving through life.
What is your faith then?
I'm Christian. You know, I'm a believer in, and again, you know, moving through that is a deep journey that you know, the soul goes through, and this record has some really deep moments for me on it with that.
There's one song that I thought, well, this is really, well, you maybe being angry, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you can, if you want to explain the song Parasite. It was always you.
I call that there's an anger management song on
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah, it was always you taking my power down. What you had to be, well,
again, you know, we can, I mean, what I want to shy away from is too many specifics from my context, from my perspective, only because, you know, I played that song not that long ago in concert, Parasite, and somebody said something to me after. It's like, man, is that from the new album? I said, yeah, man, I just went through this thing with my boss, and man, it was just like the lyric was just exactly what I wanted to say, you know, in my mind, you know, to my boss or about this situation. I forget what he said. And it dawned on me, you know, that there were going to be, you know, there are these songs on the album that people can make, you know, the connection or not or whatever. But to me, as soon as I say, okay, it's about this, then it loses its impact for the fans. I think it lessens it. And I've really tried to keep even those songs, you know, and not to say the record's full of them. There's a few on the record that are definitely, you know, more aggressive and on the darker side. And I think that people, you know, will make that connection naturally to something or period of my life, but stuff that they've read about or whatever. And that's okay. But I didn't, you know, I kind of made up my mind in the beginning not to over contextualize it from as far as my context.
But the thing is, of course, and you can one short reaction if you want to. People might think it's about the things that happen to you with life,
and then they're free to think that. I'm not going to get too specific on it though.
Okay, it's good. Let me see. Well, the one it's the opening track of the album. It's also one of the more aggressive songs. Why did you? It's always, well, you said picking track listings and picking the album title. Why open with this song?
It was really the intro sound of the verse, just how sort of mysterious it sounded and how Jamie had produced it. It was more like, this has got to be first, because it reminded me of just records where I hadn't done like a really cool intro for a while, you know, like just that intro that really sucks you in and announces that you're not going to just listen to a bunch of songs. You're going to listen to an album that we've crafted and laid these songs out in a way that are going to tell a story. I think when you hear the initial swirl and the of that, to me, that says, here comes an album.